Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone. What if I told you you're not broken? You're not behind. You're not failing at healing. What if the reason it feels slow isn't because you're doing it wrong, but because you're doing it right? Deep healing doesn't rush. It doesn't perform for social media. It doesn't clap back with a glow up in 30 days. It goes underground first. Quiet, unseen. And that can feel terrifying when everyone else looks like they've moved on. But hear me, slow doesn't mean stuck. Slow often means deep. And if you've ever whispered, why am I still carrying this? This message is for you. A few years ago, a woman sat across from me in a coaching session, successful, smart, the kind of person who shows up early and brings snacks for everyone else. She smiled when she spoke, but her eyes told a different story. She said, half joking, I think I'm bad at healing. Everyone else seems fine by now. Divorce 3 years ago. Friends had moved on. Her family told her, you're strong, you'll be okay. And she was strong, so strong she never let herself fall apart. But one night, driving home, she pulled over, hands shaking, chest tight, and she said out loud, I did everything right. Therapy, journaling, forgiveness. So why does this still hurt? That moment broke her open. Not in a dramatic movie scene way, in a quiet, lonely, sitting in the car kind of way. And right there, that was healing. Not the polished kind, the honest kind, the kind where you stop pretending you're fine and finally tell the truth. Here's the problem no one prepares us for. We live in a culture obsessed with speed, fast results, fast recovery, fast happiness. We praise resilience but misunderstand it. We think healing means no longer feeling pain. So when the sadness lingers, when the memory still stings, when your body reacts before your mind catches up, you assume something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong. Deep wounds don't heal on timelines. They heal in layers. And most of us were taught to skip the layers that feel inconvenient. We were praised for being easy, low maintenance, over it. So we learned to heal just enough to function, but not enough to feel safe, not enough to trust, not enough to rest. And when you finally slow down, when you stop numbing, distracting, performing, everything you've been carrying rises up. That's not regression. That's honesty. And honesty is the doorway to real healing. Here's the truth I want you to hold gently. Healing deeply means you're brave enough to stay present when leaving would be easier. It means you're listening to your body instead of arguing with it. Sometimes healing looks like grief returning, not because you failed, but because your nervous system finally feels safe enough to release what it's been protecting. Sometimes healing looks like anger surfacing late, because back then, you didn't have permission to be angry. You were too busy surviving. And sometimes healing looks like exhaustion because carrying unspoken pain for years is heavy. Of course you're tired. You're not late. You're thorough. You're not weak for still feeling it. You're courageous for facing it. And the deeper you go, the more honest you become about what hurt you, the more space you create for a future that isn't built on denial. That's not slow healing. That's real healing. Healing deeply isn't about grand gestures or fixing yourself overnight. It's in the tiny, everyday moments. It's in the quiet, seemingly insignificant choices that, over time, build a life where you feel safe, whole, and seen. Start with checking in with yourself, not in a harsh, judgmental way, but like you would with someone you love. Ask, how are you really today? Not the polite default answer you give everyone else, but the truth. Your shoulders might be tight, your chest heavy, your mind restless. Sit with it, notice it. Let it be your guide, not your enemy. Give yourself permission to feel. Feelings are not tasks to complete, they're messengers. When sadness rises, don't shove it away, let it move. Cry if you need to, rage if you need to, laugh if you need to. Each emotion is a step toward releasing what has been held inside for too long. Think of it as your soul taking out the trash. It's messy, it's inconvenient, but it's necessary. Create small rituals that anchor you in the present. It could be a morning stretch that wakes up your body gently, a cup of tea while watching the sunlight spill across your kitchen, or a 5-minute pause to breathe deeply before you check your phone. These little moments are reminders that your life belongs to you, and that even in chaos, you have pockets of peace. Observe your boundaries. Healing deeply often means learning to say no, not rudely, not angrily, but firmly, to protect your energy, your time, and your heart. Notice when you overextend, when you people please, when you carry emotional weight that isn't yours. Learning to hold your limits with compassion is one of the most profound acts of self-respect you can practice daily. Journal, not just to record events, but to dialogue with yourself. Ask the tough questions. What scared me today? Where did I shrink to avoid pain? What do I really need? Don't worry about grammar or structure. This is a safe place where your truth can live, raw and unedited. Move your body in ways that honor it. Healing is not just mental or emotional, it's physical. Even 10 minutes of walking, stretching, or shaking out tension sends a message to your nervous system: you are safe here. You are allowed to exist. Your body carries memory, and movement is one of the oldest forms of therapy we have. And finally, surround yourself with reminders of hope and growth. A friend who listens without judgment, a book that speaks to your soul, music that makes your heart ache in all the right ways. These aren't luxuries, they are lifelines. Healing deeply is a series of choices that might feel small day to day, but over weeks and months, they become the architecture of a resilient, brave life. You are not rushing, you are planting seeds. Water them gently, be patient with the process, and trust that even when it feels invisible, growth is happening beneath the surface. I want you to hear this loud and clear, because you've been whispering it to yourself for far too long. You do not need to heal faster to be worthy. You do not need to get over it to deserve peace. You do not need to look like everyone else's version of success to be enough. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still trying, still showing up for yourself is nothing short of courageous. The world tells you to move on, to forget, to perform, to plaster a smile over the cracks and pretend you're okay. But true healing, real, deep healing, doesn't happen on a schedule. It doesn't care about social media timelines or Instagram highlights. It happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It happens in the nights you spend staring at the ceiling, heart racing, tears soaking your pillow. It happens in the mornings you drag yourself out of bed afraid, but still willing to face the day. And here's the beautiful part. You're not moving slowly because you're failing. You're moving slowly because you are diving deep. You're digging down past the surface wounds, past the I should be fine armor, into the very roots of who you are and what you've been carrying. That pain, that fear, that lingering ache, it's not your enemy. It's a compass. It's pointing you to what needs to be seen, held, and released. It's telling you you are ready to be whole in a way you weren't before. So don't rush, don't compare, don't apologize for needing more time. Let yourself be brave enough to feel the weight of it all. Let yourself be patient enough to let your heart rebuild at its own pace. Let yourself trust that every tear, every pause, every moment of vulnerability is not weakness, it is power. And when you finally look back, months or years from now, you'll realize something incredible. The slow journey wasn't a setback. It was the very thing that made you unshakable. It was the thing that taught you to love yourself fiercely, to honor your story fully, and to stand in the world with a strength that can't be measured by timelines or external approval. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too slow. You are healing deeply, courageously, completely. And that, my friend, is worth every moment. So if today feels heavy, if healing feels slow, if you're wondering when you'll finally arrive, pause. Place a hand on your heart, breathe. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not failing, you are doing brave, unseen work that doesn't announce itself. Roots grow in darkness, so do you. And one day, quietly, unexpectedly, you'll realize you're standing stronger not because you rushed, but because you healed deeply, and that changes everything.